Hello, I'd like to show you Gallery. Gallery is a very, very big journal. She is 9 inches wide by 11 inches tall. Her spine is 1.5 almost, and she just has 2 signatures, but oh my goodness, they are full. So I mentioned that I was going to be showing another journal that is unusual, different, and this is it. Look how wide this mouth is. Now, although she's big, 3 3/4 there with it tied up, she isn't that heavy compared to what you'd think, because when I made this one, I wasn't necessarily planning on making it to sell. I was just having fun because I'd found some packaging that was in the shape of a journal. And so it's cardboard, but there's no way that she can fall apart because she's got fabric on the inside and some fabric on the spine. And yeah, anyways, she's sturdy but not heavy. This removes easily. It's the same with the little dangles here. There's a bulb pin that's holding them all on. Cotton tie. And how I made the cover was I Mod Podged on old book pages. These were actually quite dark, which is another kind of cool look to have. But I decided I wanted to put this on, which is a fussy cut wreath from a magazine cover. I think it was Harold Smith. And I didn't think it went well with the dark pages, so I put gesso and Mod Podge on top to make it more of a shabby chic look. And on the back as well. It was really, really dark before. These are quite old pages I used. Which is why I needed to reinforce the edge with bookbinding tape, because otherwise, yeah, I don't think it would have withstood the test of time. But now she can stand up to a lot, I think. Well, she's had to because I've been playing with her, so yeah. In here we have a tuck spot with a journaling card. And as always, most of my cards are blank on the back and usually tea dyed or coffee dyed to make lots of room for writing. And here we have a journal card. Now, one of the reasons why I called her Gallery is that there's some of my art in here, and there's also pictures from an art magazine like this here that I glued onto cardstock. And this is another journal card with 2 little mini tags in it. You can journal on the back. There's room for more things in there. Button fabric here, sticking with a vintage red button on it. I thought it went well with this poster paper, which was itself already a little bit old. I made this using a gift bag that was falling apart, and I loved the picture so much, so I saved it. And then when I started junk journaling, I went, oh, I can use this on a homemade envelope. This envelope, if you look inside, you can see it's Thrifty's Foods Happy Eat, repurposing a grocery bag. And inside there is another card for writing on, and some paper, and one of my little watercolors that's a copy of one that I did of our home. It's a view from the driveway, because in the spring we have crocuses come up in the lawn, and I'd taken this picture crouched down on my kneeling pad so that I could get the flower, and then the house in the background. There's rhodo, and we have a lot of big trees on the property. And that's not exactly what my house looks like, but you know, it's very cottagey, so that's definitely caught that character about our house. Home sweet home, for sure. Here's repurposed calendar page with some collaging of book page on it. Little journal card here. Altered paper clip with a journal card there. Tea-dyed paper. Got a little crunchy sound to it. Journaling spot there. And this here, you can journal on the back of it as well as on the card that's inside. So you know how I am a bit obsessive about making writing spaces. Little dangle on that paper clip. This is from a vintage art book, and it's perfect because you can write on here, you can write on here. Nice and sturdy too. Here's an envelope that's made into journaling spots all the way down, and little tags. And there's a little mini watercolor I did. This one's not a copy, but I did recently photocopy it because I want to start using some of my art in the journals that I make, because I don't know if you know about Daphne's Diary, you're not allowed to use their stuff in magazines, so I thought, oh, I'm going to make some of my own. I mean, it won't be as good, but it'll be fun, and it'll be, you know, copyright free because it's mine. There's a little tag in here. Reminds me of a rooster we had when we used to live out in the country. His name was Kellogg. So you're probably noticing why I called this one an unusual journal by now, because it's definitely unusual. There's actually a tuck spot in here. You put a little note or tag, and these are removable too, so you can write on them, both sides. Here's a little copy of a painting I did 10 years ago, and it was from one of the roses in our garden, and I made it into a little booklet. And I also printed on the other side some flowers that I recently did that were inspired by a Kathy's Garden tutorial. And I did that with watercolor. And then, but this isn't the original, this is scanned. So tell me what you think. Yeah, this here brings back memories because this I stenciled from a stainless steel, I guess it was from a steamer that my mom had. It was, I think, the very last piece from a pots and pans set she had when she first got married. And she gave it to me and she said, oh, this is the last piece from it. So anyways, comes in handy for different things. I use it as a hot plate, like, or a trivet for sitting a pot of soup on if I don't want to burn the counter or whatever. This was also inspired by Kathy's Garden from a tutorial. And I thought it went nice on this page, because I like the idea of turning this little bit of artsy stuff I did here into a writing spot by putting something on it that has writing spaces. And there's writing space in here too. This comes out and it's for writing on. And here. And some cards as well to write on. And here. So I'm more than made up for the fact that you can't easily write on here. You can with felt pens. Black looks really nice on it. And in this bucket is a postcard. I'm not sure how to say it. Is it Grenada or Grenada, but I had a neighbor that was from there. We used to talk about our cats, because we both love cats. The tag I made out of washi tape, and that was also inspired from a tutorial. If you check my playlist, you'll find it. And this was also from Kathy's Garden, a tutorial. I want to make some more of these. And what I did, again, making it into a writing spot, I put it onto cardstock so that it can be a tuck spot as well as a place to write. And there's one of those flowers from that paper I showed you. So what I did was I put sparkle on and Mod Podge to, give it a little bit of a glow and character. And these here, this is the middle of the first signature, dangles. It's kind of a nature theme, art theme. There's a bit of a love theme in here too, you'll see as we go through some of the pages. This was also inspired by Kathy's Garden, except what she did is she made several of these and they became all the pages to it. What I did is I just made one and then made it into a booklet. Some of my watercolor in the back there. And that's a decoupage napkin with Mod Podge. And some coffee dyed paper that I did. Tag. That's where that tag came from, but I kind of like it there, so I'm going to leave it. Lots of writing spaces in this. Oh, and there's also a postcard too. I don't know if it's a postcard. Found it in my treasure hunting at a thrift store. A bunch of interesting pictures. I think there's one more in here. It's that similar idea. There's one of the butterflies that I did because I like butterflies and I really like Daphne's Diaries butterflies, so I'm trying to make my own and I'm hoping to do another batch of a different style. But anyways, this is what I've done so far. This was one that I copied and then fussy cut and glued it on here, and I added a little bit of green with some watercolor pencil afterwards when I saw that there was green over here. That's a card from printed in England. This is from a magazine picture. Just glued it onto some cardstock. And this page here is from an adult coloring book. I turned this into a writing spot. And here as well, there's writing. Postcard. Journaling card. Tag right on the back. And pocket made from a corner of a dyed envelope. This here, take it off, remove the altered paper clip, and you've got writing space on that. Plus you can write on here. Writing space on the back. And this one you can write on both sides. Ooh, and I see that needs to be re-glued. So I'll have to do that. And what I do whenever I find a boo-boo, I just put something in there to remind me to go back to it. So that's what I'll do for that page. Magazine picture. Glued onto some tea-dyed paper. I think I'm going to have to sew this. I think it's hard to glue things onto this, but this one glued. This one stayed. And this is a belly band too. This is from the art book. On this side, I just didn't want to completely cover up the writing, so from the art book, I put this here, You can write on this. Another postcard, butterfly one. Postcard. A little pocket, loading pocket. Paper there to write on. And on the back. Journal card made of washi tape. Calendar page. Alter paper clip. Tea-dye paper for writing on. Of course you can write on there too. And here, and there's another butterfly that's been glued on. And a button down here. Some vintage fabric. Tag. And 3 little buttons. Probably tea-dye paper in here, I suspect. Yep, haven't looked in here for a while. Looks like it's cardstock paper. You can write on both sides of that. Alter paper clip, journal card. I love these index cards. They're sturdy and they don't tear easily. And here's another spot to write here. And I showed this already in a little tutorial. Journaling card. And what this is, I'm thinking, like, when I look at this together, I'm thinking that's her little diary, and she's going to write about their date on the water. And this is a alter paper clip too, this little booklet. So very secretive. I mean, if you didn't know much about junk journaling, you might not even realize that that's a little booklet to write in. And this makes me think that they had a picnic afterwards. Some papers to write on in here, I think. Yep, tea-dye paper. There's room for more. This was also from that art magazine. I'm trying to avoid the glare there. A couple of things to write on in here. And some art. Photograph of someone's painting. One of my thrift store finds, but I thought it went nice on this page. Speaking of art, postcard. A couple of tags for journaling on. Oh, and a little Bible verse. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There's one on the other side. Forgot I put that in there. I like how it goes with the colors. On the inside you can write, and then on the back as well. And this is one of those little flower things of mine that I scanned so that I could, yeah, make little tags out of it. And that's just a little micro poem I wrote. Ledger, another butterfly, another butterfly. Picture from a adult coloring book, Little Angels from a Victorian card, and a couple of charms, butterfly, and I guess I would call that a flower. Another butterfly. This was from a magazine too. I loved the colors of the eggs. It's actually a light switch cover. That would be cute in this room. In my creative cave, my writing room, my craft room. Serenity prayer. And a blank tag. Some more art. Another of Vincent van Gogh. And some paper to write on. Imagine. And this is from a magazine. So you can see why I call this one gallery. And I showed this also with that other one tutorial. It's an alter paperclip. It's also a little mini journal. There's a tuck spot here and in here. And some pages. And I would like to put a marker in here too, because I want to put some colorful tags in those pockets that go with it. So I'm going to put this to remind me to do that there. And underneath as well, this moves so you can journal under there. You can actually journal on top of this too. And here's another example of scanning my art and then reusing it to make tags. It's funny, when I first did this I wasn't appreciative of it, but now that I realize that sometimes it's just hard to get yourself to sit down and do some painting. And when I came across this recently, I went, oh, I kind of like it, because I saw it as not as mine, but just as, you know, somebody else's art, and then I liked it more. So now I've scanned it so I can print some more out to make journal cards. That's from a magazine. It's a little journal spot made out of a old book page. It's so old that I had to reinforce it, like by adding this here and onto over the seams, because when you fold this, it's not very happy, and there's something inside too that I put so that it's reinforced. My cute old book that was falling apart. Little tag here and here. And this here and this here is actually from some lovely soap somebody gave me. And this here tissue paper was from a store. A gift was wrapped in it. So that's a tuck spot, as well as here pocket, as well as a journal spot. Another envelope made from, this one's made from scrapbook paper. It's got some paper in there to write on. And here, some tea dye paper I did using Easter placemat that has flowers on it. It's shaped in the shape of an Easter egg. Got it from the dollar store, and as soon as I saw it, I went, oh yeah, I can stencil with that. Tag. And a tag on this side for writing as well. I'd gotten a puzzle from the thrift store, and it wasn't in its original box. It was just in a Ziploc bag with this, and then I just trimmed the edges to make it even, added a brad, some ribbon, and turned it into a little journal card. And this here belly band, this is vintage lace, which is the same as what's our crochet, same as what's at the front here, and the top at the front. And inside here is a journal tag made out of washi tape and art paper, and one made out of a card. And then there's some homemade stamps, ones that I had drawn and painted in here. There's about 6 of them. So there she be. So what do you think? Have you ever tried scanning some of the things you've done? Maybe what you did some stenciling that you are pleased with, or some watercolor pictures, or even some tea dyeing or coffee dyeing that turned out really cool pattern. Have you ever scanned it and then used it to make some more journals out of? Anyways, that's what I'm planning to do. Between that and all the stuff I've already collected, I probably don't need to leave the house to get supplies for a couple of years, but you know, like yesterday I went shopping with my daughter and came across this. Wasn't even opened yet. It was brand new. Words. So I used some of them in here. I love words. They're good writing prompts, but especially nice words. Inspire. Yeah. Imagine. Believe. I like hope. Yeah, they make you feel good too. Anyways, that was at a thrift store that we went to together. So there's going to be times when I'm still going to pick up things, because this is such a fun hobby. And now that I've opened an Etsy store, I'm more inspired to keep making things. It's not like I've got to use them all up. Take care. Bye.